tonight on Sunday Night Primetime. San Francisco looks for their first sweep of Seattle since 2011. Can the Seahawks avoid the broom? We'll find out next on EA Sports.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the SoDo district of Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4. And it was the visiting Seahawks who were victorious in that one. So they now look for the sweep here back home in Seattle. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And this will be a Seahawks first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And the Niners are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 44. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down. The numbers for Sermon in last week's game: 18 carries, 68 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Lance finding Kittle, first down San Francisco. Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Meanwhile, Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 12 more yards there and another first down. Here's Sermon. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Sermon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 9 catches, 120 yards even.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. Catch is made by Metcalf. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 39. A gain there of 21 yards. And, Charles, this defense, they know that they've got their work cut out for them. Here's a quarterback coming off a game in which he threw 4 touchdowns. They've watched the tape all week. They've seen it, but what can they do differently?
I think they've got to approach it like a pitcher facing a really hot batter. Get him uncomfortable in the box. Change speeds, change locations, change the pitches you throw at him. So show different coverages, blitz sometimes, drop back other times. Just don't let him get comfortable or let him get into rhythm.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Well, this defense for the Niners, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense. Just couldn't sustain much of anything against them. Great job showing them different looks and then attacking.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. No doubt, a very... Disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Lance to throw it. They set up the screen for Sermon. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Shotgun now for Lance. Got a man. That's Ayuk. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. This is Carson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. To throw is Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset. Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Lance, a give now to Sermon. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 48 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. And Lance now to throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touch. Trey Lance, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay.